and welcome everyone to the dungeon, folks. Yay, we're back. It's when we at the young folks stop talking movies and music, start playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's been about 2 weeks between sicknesses and PAX. We were
and
kind
PAX
of busy.
sicknesses.
And PAX sicknesses, yes. So please, everyone, go check out all of our PAX coverage. Ryan and Evan really busted their asses on them, and they're all really good. So that is why this show was delayed, but now we can continue. I am Alex Suffolk, your dungeon master. I am joined by all my wonderful players. We're going to continue our story after our quite significant cliffhanger, where we were, strangely enough, to all Dungeons & Dragons campaigns, they found the main story. So,
Is that uncommon or?
It depends on your table. Certain tables go right to it. Some avoid it like the plague.
And we accidentally stumbled upon it, did we?
Yeah, you accidentally stumbled out of it. Only they accidentally stumbled back in.
He just gave us like low-key, high-key shade. The fact that we actually just stumbled upon it.
I think I audibly complained that we ran back into the plot. So
in the way the plot was just the whole time.
The plot was in you, the real magic.
Honestly,
made along the way.
Honestly,
there is no plot without the main character.
It felt super anime that we just totally went onto these little weird side story divergence and then came back into the plot, like mid-season style.
Yep.
It's like you were catching up with the manga.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we got past our filler stories.
Exactly, and now we're gonna get to the good stuff. Let's begin. Our heroes are now face to face with the princess of the Alaman, the great city-state, also known as the Jungle. After skulking through the sewers to defeat a horrifying beast and obtain the white spider staff it was guarding, the party met up with their old contact, Deborah the Cut-Ear, to exchange the staff for the life of one Ziggy Starchild. This life, of course, was needed to prevent an organization known as the Butchers from hunting down our favorite rogue and sorcerer, Merritt and Karnov. And after that, Ziggy is their ticket to getting into a gala where our heroes will plan to stage a heist. The plot for this heist has gained layer after layer after layer, and no doubt it's not going to stop now. Because the woman that the party knew as Deborah has in fact revealed herself to not be a wounded drow in need of facial bandages, but Princess Magla Yarud in disguise. So what new threads will this reveal add to our tapestry of intrigue and drama? Let's find out on this episode of The Dungeon, folks. So, Merritt, Karnov, Flint, Alexander Sonori, you are now all standing in this wide-open music room in this magic mansion. You might recall Deborah, Magla pulled you into. Ziggy Starchild is still swigging wine from a large goblet, and he seems content. And these faceless figures that were once in the shape of Ziggy, Karnov, and Merritt, but without faces, have all come forward and transformed into multiple tuxedoed butlers. And
Misty Thing, hi.
Hi.
We got you, and then we lost.
Then we lost Lee. No.
Well, oh no, she's in. For a minute, Justin looked like a South Park Canadian because his head was split in half.
It's okay. Technical difficulties. It wouldn't be this stream without it.
It's all good.
Just naturally being who I am, Evan.
Anyway, so if you recall, when you walked into this room, you saw these three faceless figures, sort of like in the shape of Ziggy, Merritt, and Karnov. And as you've walked in, and now that the princess has revealed herself, they all transform into these tuxedoed figures, also without faces, and they all walk up and begin bowing to the princess.
They sheieked us.
And she's staring at you, smiling, after having revealed herself to you. So what do you do?
By the rights, how bizarre.
Well, from Aura's thingy, I will bow one time.
And she's like slowly just like nods her head. I expect you have a lot of questions.
Yes.
Maybe a few. Let's see. Okay.
Also, Flint and Alexandra, this is the first time either of you have seen Ziggy. This
Ah.
magnificent man with the unicorn
Yes.
across his
Sure.
chest
Yeah,
and the
that's
pompadour.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
You've heard him mentioned by Merritt and Karnov, but here he is, sipping his wine, stuffing his face full of cream puffs, the man you've delved into a sewer to supposedly rescue, who seems just fine.
Just fine.
Totally normal.
That's a Flint response.
Alright.
We're a little rusty. We're getting
Aye.
back into our characters, guys.
Trying to get back into the mindset
still
here.
Shocked
It's
and
been 2
mad.
weeks.
I am still speechless that I now have to care about this whole thing.
Yeah. So at this
Yeah.
point, Ziggy will probably walk up to you, Karnov, and say,
Okay, that's all sorted.
"Sorry, sorry for the heartache, my friend." All sorted, huh? It's pretty funny. Anyway, Ziggy walks up to Street.
Alright, so I'm sorry, what did I miss? My computer.
You're in the room. The princess revealed herself. Ziggy's fine. Ziggy's walking.
I'm just gonna message Ryan.
Yeah, just message
Just
him.
ping
I'm-
him.
I tell Ziggy, hey, it's not your fault, but did you really have to go off and be a hero?
And said, "My friend, you gave me the opportunity to speak to royalty.
I mean, I didn't think you'd really do it.
I had to make sure you weren't just playing me for a chump."
That's actually fair. I think I think this falls back on me now.
And
That's
Magla sort of nods, and she says, "Yes, I heard his message in my mind through magic that shouldn't have happened. So I was surprised, and I told him to meet me. And surprisingly, he came down to the Undercity, as ostentatious as he is. And then he says, and the next thing I knew, I was face first in the dirt. I shot him with about 5 sleep darts.
Yeah, that would do it. That would about
That
do
also-
it.
And I took
That
him
also
here for
makes sense.
questioning, and he was rather obstinate at first, but I threatened to
Oh my god.
cut him, and he said he wouldn't care. And I said I would cut his hair, and he said he would care. I care very deeply.
I mean, look at it.
It's magnificent, is it not? It's my brand.
Yes,
Maybe you can help me with my beard that's been singed off multiple times.
He's like, oh, hello, friend.
Oh my god.
He doesn't discriminate.
So,
Wait, can I just whisper to Karnoff and just be like, is this guy serious?
And I'm like, yep, 100%. I mean, how could you not just fall for this?
And he says, he's looking down at you, Flint. He's like, now bear with me, but bows.
pose.
Little bows tied
Bows?
to it. You can tie the hair together. It would, it would really tie it together.
I'm sure he has no idea what a bow is.
I'm not sure what he's saying. I think he's suggesting.
You asked for beard tips.
I
You
did.
asked for beard tips.
I did, but I didn't expect that response. All right,
Anyway.
points for being clever. Who is this man, and why is this woman here?
He's a
How did
beautiful
we
performer,
have-
and on that note of the woman one, did you say magic that wasn't supposed to happen?
Yes.
Is that how
have-
magic works?
Also, I should remind you, I'm not just some woman. I'm your queen.
I don't live here, lady.
As far as I'm concerned, you do.
I
She's
surrender.
royalty.
Look,
I
one of us is
We
shacked
bow
up in
down
the sewer,
to
and one of
royalty.
us is not. I'm just saying. I can
Does
just
look
leave.
like a sewer.
You're surely not in a castle, are you?
It's because I don't want to be killed.
And here we are.
Touche.
And
So now, magic spell wasn't supposed to happen.
I've taken many provisions, if you haven't noticed, for people to not find me. One of which is an object that is supposed to block any kind of magic that is meant to reach me or spy on me, get into my head at all. This is really good, because I feel the prying of magic every second of every day. But his spell got through. Now I know there's one object that can bypass my magic. The amulet.
It's that thing we've been carrying around that you idiots gave the magic man, the dance magic man.
I like
Wait, why did we give him the amulet thing again?
I'm sorry. I've been just, like,
tickets.
Yes,
Tickets.
Telemori.
I've been like just like staring at this place. Like, where are we again? What happened?
You're in a
I've been-
magic mansion. It's like it has like the tallest ceilings you've ever seen. There's like this like the tapestry is all sort of like gold and green. There's bear motifs everywhere.
I kind of tuned out. What happened? Can anybody fill me in?
Plot.
What plot?
Do you remember that whole thing with the amulet and the cultist and the stuff that you and I decided we didn't want anything to do with?
It's here,
It's back.
isn't it?
It's back. Yes.
It's here. We're in it. We're in it.
Oh,
We're in it.
You're in the thickest of it.
And
Yes.
wait a minute. She's the thing.
Yes, she's
She-
that.
the-
Yeah, she is that.
She,
Yes.
the bandagey and then the thing. She's the princess with the
That
thing.
would
The queen.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
how are
shouldn't call
you?
the princess a thing. Just go
Very
for it.
clever.
I am trying to accumulate to my surroundings, Alexandris. Oh boy.
Merritt's
Anyway.
been day drinking.
Yes, no, I sure wish I had a drink. This is what I'm like when I'm sober, when I'm stone
And
cold.
you say,
winking
as soon as you say, I want a drink, one of the faceless tuxedoed people walks up to you, and without a mouth, you just hear a small voice, just like, would you care for ale, whiskey, wine, tequila?
all of it.
Pardon?
Oh,
did
options.
they just call it tequila?
Who cares?
And she's like,
I
yeah,
mean, I
they're a
think you
little
should.
awkward.
Can you like mix them together and like some sort of?
He extends out a hand, and like from the palm, this glass like raises out of it, like this little like elevator. And as the glass raises, you see that there is a vaguely sort of amberish liquid, and it sort of just rises up until it's about like it's almost like a test tube in terms of like length. And
Okay.
he just like offers it out to you.
That's kind of cool.
Incredible. Thanks.
And
Anyway.
do you drink it?
I'm
Yeah, it's
I am a character who named myself after two kinds of whiskey from where I come from. Yes.
It's okay, so it's basically like a medieval version of a Long Island iced tea.
Perfect.
It's like
He's gonna get trashed.
just like instead of like Coke, it's just beer. So yeah, it's got quite a buzz. Anyway, so Magla says, anyway, the magic. Now I know there's one through the amulets. It can bypass my wards, but I know the voice of my envoy, and his wasn't that voice. So I was naturally suspicious.
Yeah. That's
Now-
fair.
Something not being suspicious again.
Now, I do believe there is an exchange in order. The white staff, please.
Oh yeah. The
Who has
thing.
Yeah.
Who has that?
I do. I
Merritt
do.
has it in the bag of holding.
Get
I
that-
do.
Get that
Yeah,
out
we
of-
don't. We don't want it. You can take.
Get that out
You
of
can
your
take it
bag.
here. And I just like nonchalantly hand it to her, like, yeah, sure.
And she
Please,
sort of-
please show some kind of formality. You just handed something to a queen like it was nothing.
She's Deborah, man. We've dealt with. She saved your ass. I think we're on more cordial terms than you think we are.
But now she's the
Apologies for the
princess.
disrespect of the drunken boy.
Merritt is
His
actually
little
right.
boy.
Merritt is actually right on this account. As far as you know, and as far as you tell anyone, especially down here, I am Deborah. Magla is still in hiding.
Points.
I'm sorry, back up. Who?
Deborah.
That's her name.
No, I got that part.
My name is Princess Magla Yarud. Do you not know the history of the city you intend to move to?
We got here a week ago.
I was playing along. I was playing along.
He doesn't know.
I know
we all
that.
just kind of showed up, and we didn't happen to know how bad things were out here.
No, I feel like you don't understand the joke. You know what? Never mind.
Me, I don't understand the joke.
No, just never mind. Never mind. Let's back up, though.
I think I need a drink.
And how did we all end up in this situation? Specifically, you, royalty.
Have you heard the name Nakresh?
Oh god damn it.
And at that moment, you see Turget just like freeze, wide eye.
The
We've
stupid,
had a couple of run-ins.
the stupid Tiger Lord.
The very same.
See, she
The
thinks
guy
he's
who
stupid
does-
too.
The guy who does the thing with the person and the guy. Oh,
Could
god
you
damn,
be more
really?
vague? The one that has way too many people following his evil methodologies, whether
cult.
they're accurate or not. Yes, the cult.
The
Yeah.
cult.
Giant
I
furry.
dealt with cult. Just say cult.
Indeed. Anyway, I don't know how much you know about Vaalaman, but the brief history of this place is that it's exchanged many hands through many empires, but none was more terrible than that of Nakresh, the great Tiger King. Almost single-handedly, with his small band of tiger men, he ripped this city away from the Yuan-Ti, who ruled it for centuries before. He had a very dark and bloody rule, hedonistic, cruel. He lived for hundreds of years. He had the image of a man, but he lived even past some of the elves. And every day, he required a daily demonstration of love and loyalty from his people. He'd choose one person out in the crowd. He'd take them up to the Acropolis, and above the entire populace, he'd carve out their heart, transform his face into that of a tiger, and devour it.
That sounds like something similar to a ritual they were trying to do that we stopped them from doing, doesn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So, was this... He's not actually a god, then. He's just a really old cat.
We don't know what he was. He wasn't a man.
Where did he come from?
We don't know. From the depths of the jungle, he united people cursed with various lycanthropies. He cast down some of the older gods of this, or some of the temples of the older gods of this land. He built himself an army and took it back from the Yuan-Ti. Until a lot of people were fed up with his rule. One of them was Great Yarud, my great-great-grandfather. He deposed him, but Nakresh wasn't like any other person. He was nigh invincible. You try to strike him with any weapon, it would bounce off his skin. Even the greatest wizards and sorcerers, they'd throw spells at him, and it's like it didn't even matter. Nothing could touch him, except for my great-great-grandfather's sword. And so, he was killed, and as he was dying, he's transformed his hand into a great claw, and he scraped my great-great-grandfather. And he looked at him with eyes burning with hellfire, and he said, "I will return. You have earned the ire of the greatest vengeance seeker in all of the 9 hells." and he disappeared. And ever since then, well, my great-great-grandfather never had a good night's sleep.
So
Withered
what you're
away
saying
10
is
years
that
later. He had dreams.
Got it,
His
Tiger
family's
Dean, cool.
been cursed with dreams of his return. We've prepared for it. We've always known it would happen, and it finally did.
Oh,
See,
well, great. Then just get the sword.
We lost the sword.
Oh, of course you did.
Why and how? Where is it? Who has it?
This between the 9 hells and the fact that the one thing you needed to keep you lost, I don't think this should be our problem.
No. This is gonna sound insane from me, but let her keep going.
Listen, I know you're not as invested in the city, but your position as newcomers and relatively unknowns make you in an excellent position. See, Nakresh killed my father. I know it. I walked into his room, and I saw him lying there bloodied, throat cut, chest opened, and one of his own guards standing over him. I was horrified.
Wait a second. You
I was-
said that he was killed, and then
Yes.
how did he reincarnate himself?
Demon.
We
Okay,
don't
okay.
know. All we know is that we dreamed. All of the Yaruds. My father, my father's brothers, all of them before us have dreamed of tigers stalking them in the woods. It is the only thing we dream of.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It is. And so we've always prepared for the day. Maybe it's just superstition, but it was proved wrong. See, the other thing about Nakresh is he is a shapeshifter.
Uh-huh.
He can take the form of literally anyone. That's how he deposed the Yuan-Ti almost single-handedly. He could take the shape of some powerful courtesan, seduce multiple people of power, and then destroy them while they least knew it. And then in the next day, he could take the guise of a person he killed and use them to rain chaos. This is how he did it. He changes faces quicker than you could change clothes.
I actually kind of respect that.
But how are you
How?
able to track him then?
How?
Well, we
Think
killed
of all
him.
the manpower he saved.
When we killed him, he was king of the city. He was arrogant. He was out on display. He thought himself invincible, as did most of us.
Oh, well, yeah, that's how you get killed when you've taken over a city.
Wait,
I just
before
mean
we
the
go-
process. I mean the
Before
process.
we go any further, how do we not know that Crash isn't somebody who's in this room right now?
We're not all dead.
And then all of a sudden, you turn to Target and look at him because he's the only.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I turn to Target.
We slept in a room with that guy, and I think all of us don't actually know what his name is. So if he was going to kill us, he'd have done it. Just
Somebody else could be like in a soap opera moment right now.
I pat
Turget
Target
is-
on the head.
Turget is staying silent. He's a little like starstruck that he's like basically meeting like the equivalent of like the president. And he's also aware that he was a part of the cult that is like opposed to her. So he's just not. He is frozen. What did you guys just ask, Magla?
How do we not know that
Oh, right, right.
that this guy happened to shapeshift
Well-
into one of the people who's in this room right now?
Here's the other thing about Nakresh that we do know. He was hedonistic and lavish. He always liked the finer things, almost to a fault. He would just take the guise of some commoner or vagrant if it helped him in one particular instance, or if it was part of a longer con. But it's not his established identity. No, he's definitely one of the nobles now.
Okay.
Oh?
So
here's
you're
the other
basically
thing. Here's the other thing. When
Magic Man. Yes,
I found
Good.
my father dead and the guard standing above him, I looked in horror as the guard turned and his face shifted to that of my father's. And he said to me, this would be the easy way to do it. Just take his place, kill you, act as if nothing happened. But then he said, but I don't want to just kill you. I want to tear down the foundations of this family. And it starts tonight, little girl. And that's when I ran, and I took this, and she shakes the amulet that has the door that she opened to this place. I took all the things that my father prepared me for, and that's when I went into hiding. So Nakresh doesn't want to just depose me and act like nothing happened. He wants to take over the city once again, to just completely annihilate us and leave us in the dust of history books he will live to one day rewrite again.
So I'm guessing from how long he's been here, you vetted Ziggy, right?
And he looks at you guys and he's like, do you really think that tiger stripes would fit me? How goes?
Yeah, he's fine.
I didn't doubt you.
He may not be evil, but he's still something.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
I am everything, my friend. Excellent to meet you, by the way, Ziggy Star Tribe.
Yeah.
The return
And I
of
just
the
turned back to
thin
the
white
princess.
disc, huh?
And so she says, come with me. I should show you something. And so as she walks towards the door and the wall actually like come closer as if it's moving towards her. And then as she opens the door out, you see the hallway like starts to like rearrange as she's walking through it. And then another door just like almost instantly right in front of her, and she opens it and beckons all of you to join her in there.
Let's go.
If you walk in, you find a bigger study. There's like a chest. There's a couple of like training dummies with like nicks and cuts in them, and sort of like in like the real world, like Deborah's like Pepe Sylvia conspiracy board. Magla has one.
It's not the only time that's come up in this stream.
Yes, no, she has another one, but this one's even bigger. It takes up an entire wall, and you see 9 portraits. It's a big map of the city of Alamon, the jungle, and you see 9 like pictures, all sort of scattered throughout, one in like each district. And she says, "These are the 9. We've kept
Suspects?
The 9 people who influenced this city more than I'd like, more than we'd like."
Suspects.
Yes, suspects. I believe he has not only killed my father, he has killed one of these leaders and taken their place. And he will use that faction to attempt to take over. And if we don't stop him, he most likely will. And I don't know what you think of me, having abandoned my people, but I assure you, it would do them no good if I died in an instant of him hunting me down. Whereas if I can play his game better than he can and outwit him in this political game of chess that he wants to play, then I think we have a better chance. And it will have been a lesser evil.
So Or strokes his scales and says, that would be the honorable thing to help you. Well, it would be the honorable thing to help you.
I would agree with that.
So what
Yeah.
you're saying is we murder the pack. Is that what we kill the pack? We kill the pack, we murder the pack?
She like looks at you and raises her eyebrows. She's like, "That is definitely one of the bigger suspects." I mean,
I don't like them, and I admittedly have a grudge against them.
Why
so
do you have a bone to
let's kill
pick
the
with
pack.
them specifically? Let's unpack that.
Because-
Let's unpack
they-
that statement, huh?
They shot and killed an innocent child, and I don't like the bloodshed of the young when they don't deserve it.
You sure you don't have any ulterior motives going on?
Also, that guy was an asshole. That's the other one.
You sure you don't have any ulterior motives going on?
That's a fair question to ask you, you know that.
Also, the guy was an asshole, and I don't like assholes.
Look, I don't like the pack. I don't like the pack either, but we do it specifically and methodically instead of jumping into something with raw emotion, as it were.
You
So
ate a
we go
fish man our first day here.
Have I eaten any living being since? Any?
I'm just pointing out the irony of you saying those things.
Hey.
One day you're gonna tell me and Ori this story because I keep hearing about Fishman and I don't know what to do with the story.
It's too long to go into, but he ate a
No,
man.
it takes 5 minutes because it was the first time we met.
Magla is sort of watching all of you with like a look that is like sort of halfway between puzzlement and annoyance.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
this is our
Yes, okay, fine. The first time I met these guys, we got attacked by a bunch of mermaid men, and I was hungry and salty and cabin fever, and I ate his leg. Okay, I ate his leg. It was fried in the sun with fire, and it called to me. Okay, fine. That's it.
You are exaggerating it. You ate it on
You
impulse.
literally
I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It was-
princess.
It was the heat of combat. I have never done it
It
since.
was over. You ate it on impulse because you could.
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
that the way he tells that
Okay.
story makes it sound like he dropped something on the floor for longer than 10 seconds and ate it.
Yeah.
Instead of eating something with at least enough sentience to be able to climb onto a boat and attack us.
It was pretty cooked. One of you shot fire.
To be fair, Karnov did cook it.
Karnov really cooked it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so Magla will like sort of settle down. It's like, so some of these faces you might already recognize. Some of these names you might know. And she gestures up, and you see several pictures, several of which you do recognize. You see sort of in the tunnels, you see a picture of the queen, a drow woman with her hair tightly up in this like silver bun with like a needle through it. Over to the left in the warehouse district, you see a picture of a really big half orc with long hair, and that is Hote, leader of the butchers. You also see several, and then Alexandris, you notice that in Religion Row, there's the picture of a woman with darker skin and a shaved head, and that's Herid. But everyone else you don't recognize. And you see in the financial district, there is a human man. He's got pale skin and like sagging cheeks with really cold gray eyes. And he's got this like...
There would be a pale white banker, wouldn't there?
There's like this wild, long mane of black hair, and his like streaks of gray through it. And Magla points to him, and she says, "That is Aquila. He is the alpha of the pack, and he runs the financial."
That thing?
I mean, he's
of
not.
course.
He's
That
not like
ghost-looking thing?
he's not like old, but he's like. He looks like he's like later 40s, but
He's-
like really seen shit.
He's
I'm
withered.
picturing him as like Nick Cave, if you get that reference.
I'm picturing Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns, not he's like the Godfather, but younger and skinnier.
So
He's like an old goth.
The burn.
No,
Middle-aged goth?
he's like Brando in Streetcar or something like
There
that.
you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
like streetcar Brando, but with longer hair and a little bit older.
Oh, so Travolta. It's on Travolta.
There you go. Sure.
Okay,
yeah.
fine,
John
fine.
Travolta. It's John Travolta.
Call him Vincent and call it a day.
He's Pulp Fiction John Travolta, basically.
If this became a TV series or movie, we could get John.
There you go.
No
Not
money.
anything else.
Take that Scientology money, man.
So who are the other yahoos that are in the city?
She points over to an area that's just called the Dwarf Quarter, and sure enough, there is a picture of a dwarf man. There's over like a perpetual frown. He's got like this long orange beard with like 5 braids in it, and he's wearing a helmet, which is just like silver, like spotless silver, and it just has tons of jewels and gems embedded in his helmet. And he's just sort of sitting there grumbling. And she says, "That's Ballo, and he's the leader of the Dwarven Jewel Runners."
That guy's got an ego if I ever saw one, and that's a lot for a dwarf.
How do you know?
Because I'm a dwarf.
He is, He is
Aye.
correct. Apollo can be rather prideful. She points up to the red light district, and you see there is a woman with an incredibly sharp face and olive skin. She has like long red hair that covers one of her eyes, and you see that one of her eyes actually, like, her iris isn't round but a slit, almost like that of a cat's or a reptile.
Cat person.
It's
Or a
like,
reptile.
guys, it's like Pegasus.
And she says, "This is Madame Kadi, and she is the leader of the red light district and rumored to be the queen of the Yuan Ti remnant."
And can see through your cards.
Come to bed, Kaiba boy. Oh, that plays into that way too well. Sorry.
I saw where you were going with that.
More Jessica Rabbit than Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh, but you know, I guess.
If they had a daughter.
I hate you guys.
Sorry. My imagination's running wild right now.
That's okay. It's okay. So she points over in the middle of the map around the palace. It says the Gold District, and in there you see a picture of a half-elf man. You can tell he's half-elf because he has the ears, but he also has a golden stubble of a beard, and he's got close-cropped hair. And you notice this guy is like Xerxes from 300. He has golden piercings just all over his face, and this big toothy grin, and lots of gold pieces like studded on the teeth, like through the 3 through the eyebrow, like 7 on each ear, a septum, multiple nostrils, like through the cheeks. His face is just covered with gold, and Magla says, "This is Jokal, or as he's so subtly known as, Golden, and he is the leader of the gold mines and most of the banks of the city."
I reinstate what I said about egos.
There's many in this city.
That's turned out.
She points over to Tinkertown, and you see a gnome man with a really like sort of manic smile, and he's got really like a really pointed faux hawk, and he's got a goatee, and his hair is a little bit gray at the temples.
It's like an old Martin Shkreli.
Yeah.
We're getting creative tonight.
Post-prison Martin Shkreli.
More like if like Elon Musk was really tiny.
What's the difference?
Yeah. Oh. A lot actually, but. So she says, "This is Sumi. He's the leader of Tinkertown. He runs the transit system, which we're all well aware of now." And she points over to an area called the Elf Commune, and you notice on the map where there's usually like buildings and stuff, the Elf Commune is just nothing but trees. And in there is a picture, and there's like a little like, you know, a silhouette of a person, but there's no face there. And she says, we haven't seen her in centuries, so no one remembers what she looks like, but the leader of the Elf Commune is Tibok. Now, and she points out to the other one, she says, this is the Queen, or you'll never know this, but having worked for her, I know her real name is Louise.
Huh. Didn't see that
Pretty.
It's a little anticlimactic.
Flint actually, in character, I laughed there.
So,
She's like,
right.
yes, I know.
What is your takeaway from the Queen since you've been working for her?
My takeaway, and she looks at you really closely, and she leans in, is that there's only room for one queen in my city.
That didn't answer the question.
No, that answered it quite well.
Well, do you know if she's the one?
I've worked with her quite a bit. I don't suspect her as an Akresh. She's not as aggressive. She's playing it a little too slow and close to the chest. Building her alliances slowly, building her powers slowly. Nakresh is a little bit bolder, I believe. And she has too far of a great connection to the Underdark and supplying and ferrying more people over from her old hometown, and I don't think Nakresh would have any interest in that. So, you may have wondered why I asked you to bring the staff. Well, this is my ticket to taking her operation from underneath her.
Oh man, so we're already involved. I was just gonna hear your pitch and then say, well, great, good for you. We're taking our beautiful man and we're going to leave. Good luck.
No.
For the city.
I want to hear the rest of this.
I apparently don't have a choice. We just took somebody's operation down inadvertently.
Listen, Karnov, I trust Deborah, and I don't think my trust very. I don't trust people as fast as you think I would.
They gave you a lot of booze.
You trusted me quite easily, my friend.
They gave me a lot of booze, and they gave me a lot of meat, and they did stuff, but I trust them. I don't really care about the gnome dude anymore, so let's talk to her. There's money and glory and...
Isn't sneaking your thing? Don't you want to do the heist just because it'll be fun?
And she says,
"Oh yeah, there's a heist."
Oh yeah, did you not hear that part? Yeah. So there's this guy that we.
No, just let him go. I don't
Ziggy
care.
is like right there.
Yeah,
though.
Ziggy is also just like heist.
So like we're looking to rob the place, like the bar guy, because we had to pay for a window. We were just looking to get the gold back, because we're poor.
Hey, not me this time. I'm not involved this time. You go. You're the ones who did it.
Yeah, we have to pay for a room.
Yeah, we broke a window. We broke a window, and we really needed the gold back.
The others on the timeline. You're not saying the timeline right.
Okay. So, Flint, are you trying to say that the heist is just for like money to pay for the hotel?
Yes. No. I
roll a deception check.
I love it.
She rolled a 14.
God damn it.
I hate you.
Do you have inspiration? Roll inspiration.
Roll the inspiration to get us out of this.
I used mine.
He did use his.
Oh.
You know what I'm gonna
Magla just looks at you with really like narrowed eyes, and she's
Foot
just
rolls
like,
to put foot in mouth.
Who are you robbing? I don't judge. I heard you rob someone.
She's not involved in.
And she said,
hold on. She might be able to help us.
She looks at Karnov and she says, "Now I know you probably don't want to get caught up in too many things that might be heated, but hear this. Anything," and she like gestures to the board. Anything that disrupts the power dynamics of these political groups is a boon for my efforts. Anything, any kind of chaos you cause, any kind of power shift, alliance, betrayal, anything that you instill into this city forces Nakresh to make more moves and possibly reveal himself.
I roll an intimidation check.
And that's what... fine.
18.
To do what?
To look back at her with intimidation.
Uh-huh.
And I say, what about what I want? What about my goals? What are you going to put in power value?
I roll an intimidation check against Karnov.
Oh, good luck, bud.
What's going on
that's
here?
20. Let's do this. All right.
Bullshit.
All right.
What's going on here?
Listen, buddy. So,
Ziggy leans after you, Flint, and says, "I don't know, but I admire their passion."
Yeah, it's pretty admirable, isn't it?
The reason why I am acting so weird is because I realized when she was putting this together that the heist we're gonna do is going to potentially, like, draw him out, fuck up the power dynamic, potentially might destroy the whole city. I don't want to die this decade.
Well, also, if she's looking to amass her own army by undermining the Undercity, what we're gonna do may play into this.
I trust her more than us band of idiots to actually run it correctly.
But what's in it for me?
What do you?
What do you care? Money. What do you care?
You don't know why I'm here.
This is true.
What do you want?
An answer to a question.
A boat out of here.
What is it?
When you came here on a boat. When you open these power vacuums, what are you going to fill them with?
Her, obviously.
That's not going to work. Once she
works.
reveals herself, she has to have already filled these holes. She can't reveal herself at the beginning of her plan. She'll die.
No.
Obviously, she's not going.
That's why I'm starting with the Queen. I can remain underground. I can remain hidden as Deborah, work from the shadows. Now, the Queen is already allied with 2 of the other organizations. Do you guys know about the old money and the new money?
I feel like you're missing what I'm getting at.
Let me guess. There's some old rich people, and there's some newly rich people. Is that more or less the gist of the whole thing?
Yes, all
Cool,
the 9
great.
families, they're all in it for themselves. There are some that have made alliances with one another. The Pack, the Gold Company, and the Red Light District have been united as the old money on the north end of town, and they are rivaled by the dwarves, the butchers, and, well, us, the Undercity, the new money.
I don't think it's going to undermine the power dynamic enough if the Queen just so happens to be deposed by her second in command. No one's going to bat an eye about it.
No, but the Queen isn't interested in finding Nakresh or deposing him. The Queen is interested in slowly amassing a fortune.
And what about the rest?
So she sounds like me a couple days ago when I came here. Not me right now.
But
What about the rest?
Yeah. What happens if
The
they
pack
depose?
doesn't go away.
Yeah.
The butchers
Unless-
don't go away. You need...
Unless we kill them all.
That's not going to happen.
How do we know?
Because that's not how this plays out. Why build armies if you can just kill them all with 6 people?
Why are you
This-
Why are you being such a fatalist? Is that a tiefling thing?
Partially. Racism plays into it. But the more important thing is, my question for you, Royal One, is what is in it for me? What part do I play in your power vacuums?
Do you want power in this city?
I want status.
Well,
What is in it for me?
you can have a seat on my council. You can have control of an entire district. I can appoint you as the head of any of our bureaus. Whatever you desire.
That's pretty good.
So long as I do what you say.
What?
So long as I do what you say.
As long as you help enough in my efforts. Again, there's only so many things that I need direct help with. A lot of this is still in the early stages. A lot of this is still just throwing out the dogs and seeing what scent they pick up. And, well...
Well, it sounds like you need our help.
I'm sorry, am I the only one who, trusts you unconditionally? Anyone else trust you unconditionally?
I'm pretty good here. Yeah.
Yeah.
My issue isn't
I'm
trust.
fine.
I believe she says who she says she is.
No, I believe that she says she is, and I'm willing to do whatever she wants. She saved our asses. That's fine enough for me to follow whatever she does. No questions
Karnath
asked.
is just power hungry right now. He wants something out of this.
He's the evil character, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the
I mean,
I'm the Sasuke of the group.
Yeah,
I mean,
But Karnath, what do you want? Like, who do you want to control, though? What section? What district?
I want status, and I want enough freedom to enjoy it.
You can have all of that and more once I get my throne back and it's safe and that monster is gone.
I look her in the eyes. I'll hold you to it.
I wouldn't expect anything less. Now, tell me about this heist.
Go on, Blabbermouth.
I kind of forgot all about it. I've been more interested
Yeah,
in this.
y'all almost decided to bail on the whole plan the second that I mentioned it. So
Yeah, I'm more or less.
Yeah, you explain it, Blabbermouth.
Okay, fine. We were solicited by a weird little dwarf man named Alvin to steal from the butchers.
No,
No, not the butchers.
okay,
What?
we can say that you tell her the plan, and I'll remind you guys what it. You were supposed to buy Alvin Black.
Did I just recall incorrectly?
One, Alvin is a gnome. Two, you're stealing from. You're going.
I called him a little man.
You called him a dwarf. Big difference.
Did I call him a dwarf? I'm a
Big
dwarf.
faux pas in D&D. Faux pas D&D. You should know as a dwarf.
It has been 2 weeks. We're all.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like using a Brit with a Scotsman.
And you're not stealing from the butchers. There is an exchange between the Bureau of Transit and the Gold Company, and the Gold Company, as you learned, works with the pack because they're going to be giving. It's over the exchange of schematics for guns.
I recall the guns. I was trying to be vague.
Yeah, and you guys. The reason why you thought the butchers is you guys were thinking of taking the schematics and then giving guns to the butchers because they're the pack's main rival.
But we don't like any of them.
If you, I mean, you wouldn't make any of them yet. You have to.
We just wanted money and
just wanted money.
possibly weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we wanted
And
the
it
money.
But the point is,
it kind of changed when we befriended Ziggy because we didn't want to like betray him or anything. Hi, Ziggy.
Yeah, that part's true. We really did fall head over heels.
Yes.
I mean,
And he's like,
yeah, we're in. Yeah, whatever.
So you befriended me to use me.
That plan went out the window right
But
about
then
the
you
second
fell
we
in-
saw you.
Then I'm content.
and I only just
Yeah,
met
you're-
you, so
You're all right by us. The reason
Yeah.
why I'm so kind of apprehensive about the heist is because we kind of fell in love with you, dude.
How could you not?
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
Yeah. But Princess, the biggest thing to know is that for each of us to do this heist, we had to get invitations to this party, and each of us have all had to do different tasks or different things to get invites. Whereas Karnov and Barrett, they had to befriend Ziggy. I had to befriend Herib, and so on and so forth.
So you're already in league with the Holy Concordance then.
I have met her on a few occasions. Yes.
What are? Do you know her plans? What she's trying to do?
She wants a bigger presence for the people of Religion Row. She wants to lead.
She closed her eyes and nods her. I thought as much. I expect many of the powers to now be jockeying for greater control. I know the pack is loudly proclaiming that they run my city now.
And they're killing children.
Yes, the pack believes they run this city, and as a result, believes they can do anything.
In my few instances with Herib, I don't know if she is the Lion King. It's the Lion King. I'm just gonna say Lion King.
Matt!
But I'm still on the fence.
She's like, well, as I said, it's very early. I can reasonably say the queen is not Nakresh. If I had to guess, it would be Golden, just because Nakresh likes lavish lifestyles. But honestly, he could be any of them. He points and he's like, Madame Kadi, she runs the haven of sex and pleasure, and Nakresh would fit well there. She points over to the financial district. The pack have their hands in almost every business venture in this city. They're full of prestige. She'd run that quite excellently. She points over to Elven Commune. No one's spoken to the native elves of this land in centuries. They govern themselves, but from that guy, Zeke be ruling in secrecy. the dwarves, they're finding more and more riches, and they're on the up and up. He could be fueling them. He could just be anywhere. But this heist, I won't involve myself with it. I know this gala you speak of, but the Queen's Ventures are the only people who haven't been invited because of a particular incident on one of their trains. And she's like,
incident, huh?
That was that was a joke. I was there. I know what.
You don't remember she was there?
He wasn't.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was awkward.
I cannot go to this, but if this really is for the Pax weapons, or if it involves the gold company, to deny them of this, it would surely make waves. And that's all I can really ask of you right now. Although, when you are done with it, I would like more help with taking more of these matters into my own hands. And she
Question.
Yeah?
Would you like the blueprints for one of these guns that Alvin wants? Is that in your thing? I don't like them, but do you want one?
I wouldn't know how to construct them myself, but it would be denying all parties a power, whether it's better to arm opposition or to make sure it falls in the hands of no one. I don't know which is the smarter option.
So, do you think that we should give these blueprints to a weird little gnome man part in any of this?
I could not tell you. I don't know many odd little gnome men other than Sumi himself.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe we should just get these blueprints for the sake of no one using them.
Yeah. Maybe we can, get the blueprints, give Alvin some other kind of blueprint, build him out, a trumpet.
Give him a fake.
Give him a fake.
Do we have anyone with draftsman skills?
Or make copies.
Well, no, we give him one that is a trumpet that shoots that or something.
Right. So that whatever he sells to the butchers is actually totally ridiculous and absolutely useless. Oh, this makes me so happy. This makes me so happy. That's what I want to do.
The butchers. I want to make them shoot trumpets full of bubbles. Let's do this.
Make them look like absolute fools.
Isn't he gonna know that we kind of ripped him off then?
Yeah, doesn't he know what we
how is he gonna know? He's not gonna be at the gala. He's not gonna know what the actual blueprints look like.
The only people who know what these look like is one person.
I will remind you that part of the heist is that Alvin will be in all of your heads as part of the brain meld, the mushroom meld.
Well,
maybe really hard and not
maybe choose not to send him visuals, so you could still monkey with it, but he'll be asking.
Or maybe one of us feigns allergy to those things.
Or we kill him and give the fakes to the butchers ourselves, and just say that he died on duty.
That might
we
we kill him and his mushroom thing. I don't want to murder some guy just to murder him. I know, weird from me, right?
Yeah, that is weird for you. I figured you'd be down with that.
No, I agree. Let's not reach too far.
I have bigger fish to fry now. Much bigger fish. No pun intended.
We've been talking about that in 30 minutes.
We've been have we been arguing for we've been arguing for an hour. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, at least some fun things were also happening.
Oh my gosh, that's right, the butchers want to kill us. Siggy, you gotta get back to the butchers.
Yeah, you guys gotta have 10 hours left to book it over. And he's like, "Oh, is Hote upset that I'm gone?"
Very.
Like
Hote just threw me against the wall, so
just
yes.
a little,
yes.
like, kill us
Oh,
to
dear.
death.
Oh, how rude. Oh, I'm sorry you had to fall that.
I don't know. What does Ziggy make of these weapons that we're thinking of potentially taking out of people's hands?
And he says, well, after hearing you talk, he's like, "Now, if I may be selfish for a minute, I don't want any great misfortune to befall the butchers before the Battle of the Bands, because they are my managers. And
Right, yes.
Once I win that contest and I am propelled to stardom, then I will erase my contract and go about my way and live the greatest lifestyle as the greatest musician ever. But until that happens, I don't really want them to die in a gun battle shooting bubbles."
That's
That's gonna happen after.
That is a conflict with my interest. But afterwards, well, great musician to king of the city, and he looks at Magla, and she's like, "No." She's a royal guard extraordinaire, maybe.
court minstrel.
Hey, that'd be
Slash-
an honor.
Yeah, slash, you know,
Yeah.
magician.
Perpetual guest of honor, yes.
Perpetual.
Yeah, there you
He
go.
is entertaining. We'll say that.
All right. He's like, and it's quite good now that I know what you're really about to do. Although I will ask you this, Merit and Karnov, we are still scheduled to perform.
I can't dance, remember? I'm more of a background musician, songwriter person. I don't
You're gonna
dance.
have to try.
Karnov, on the
yeah.
other hand, why, he's a dancing machine.
Would
Did
you
we
perhaps say
establish
that
that?
he is a dancing queen?
I mean, with an 18 charisma, your performance ain't bad.
I don't dance. I'm more of a background person.
All right. And
Back in my days of owning a tavern where I come from, I do know a bit of musical skill, so perhaps I could back you in some way.
Yes, we'll work out the arrangements later. Until
Aye,
then,
aye.
we best go save your skins. Yes.
Yes, good idea. Yeah.
And,
Do a little bit of a Return of the Thin White Duke, yeah?
You've been waiting for that.
I've been waiting to make a station-to-station reference for like 3 weeks, yes.
That took a second. And so, Magla says, if you don't mind, I will go with you.
Alright, as Deborah? Obviously.
Naturally. Just to ensure that you're not instantly running out and ratting on me.
Look, I trust you unconditionally. You saved
No,
our skins.
I also understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, well, give me a moment. And she
I
refashions
told you.
her bandages, and then all of a sudden she's back completely bandaged up in her guise of Deborah the Cut Ear, and she speaks with an Underdark accent. She says, "Well then, let us go."
Aye, aye.
And so she opens the door again, and once again, like, the foyer that you walked in, like, you can see it bend around the hall and then, like, zoom forward, like, and closer up to you guys. And then, like, the entrance and exit doorway is now just, like, an inch out away from the door that she just opened. And then she opens that one, and it goes out into her real office with the small Pepe Sylvia board. And then, you all walk out, and Merritt, as you walk out of the mansion, your medieval Long Island iced tea puffs into smoke.
I've had enough of it.
Yeah.
I'm
And
probably
then-
gonna stop drinking for a while.
And
I
then,
feel like a new man after that.
So you all walk out, and then the door shuts, and then the door shimmers into light, and then shrinks with this little bead, and then it goes back into Deborah Deborah's necklace, and she tucks it away, and she says, "Let us be quick." And you notice that she left the white spider staff in the mansion itself.
Right.
And she says,
Also,
"Now remember." And she says, "No." She says, "No mention of the staff here."
What staff?
Exactly. And so she exits and she leads you all, and you guys walk through the Queen's headquarters. Once again, you notice that there's like a group of drow men, two groups of drow men, one with like emblems of like a green rose with thorns, and the other one with a white spider. And the people with the white spiders are sort of like off like scrubbing things, and they got sort of like the grunt work, whereas like the people with the green rose are sort of laughing and sort of like standing off and being more relaxed with like tankards of ale and stuff. And then as you hear like the men go silent, as you hear like the clicking of like the sharp clicking of high heels as the Queen walks through the room.
Play it cool.
And as she walks through, Deborah instinctively just gets on her knees and looks down. And then the Queen doesn't even pay her any mind. She's just walking through to the other, from one end of the room to the other. And towed behind her is this same drow man you saw sort of identify the crystal that you guys stole from the train. And he is a drow man. He's only in a rag and he's manacled. And she's leading him by a chain. And as she leads him from one side of the room to the other, all of the men with the spider emblem look at him and then shake their head and go back to scrubbing. And then you depart from the Undercity and you board the train heading over to the warehouse district across the way. It's probably about like midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, right about now, middle of the night. And it's sometime on the train. It's pretty barren. There's nobody on here. And Deborah turns to you guys and she says, "Do you see the man that the Queen led?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
His name is Trokith, and he was once the ruler of the Undercity. A powerful sorcerer who was known as the White Spider."
Oh.
What?
That's got to be pretty demoralizing.
Also staff.
She encased his powers in his staff and hid it where no one would dare to find it.
Except for us.
Except for us, we all say simultaneously.
Except for us.
Because
So what you gonna do with them,
we'll
though?
just do anything, apparently.
Yeah.
This is my
80 sitcom music. Except for us.
So what is she gonna do with him though?
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Where was she carrying him?
When she deposed him, she didn't just kill his men, she integrated it into her own empire. They work for her now, begrudgingly. Roughly 40 to nearly 0.5% of all the workers in the Undercity bear the emblem of the white spider instead of the green rose. It is my hope that if we can empower the leader again, he will side with me. And
I feel like that would actually work.
Yeah.
And then hopefully his men will be inspired. And the Queen's days will be numbered.
I've heard worse ideas.
So,
At least I know fighting a shit monster wasn't a waste of my time.
The great part.
alright. So, you guys arrive back at the warehouse district. And that's what the song you hear as you walk through the street. You
Makes
do,
sense.
actually, no joke, you do hear loud music. Like, tons of music sources here. Now, Merritt and Carnod, last time you were here, it was, like, silent. When you've only been here in the morning or, like, in the middle of the day. When it's just sort of, like, you know, the butchers, like, doing their literal butcher work. And just, like, carving meat. But you notice that, you remember there were some empty warehouses that you walked by. And now as you walk by, the warehouses that did have the meat are closed. The warehouses that were empty, now have huge crowds in them, lights everywhere, and loud music that you thought louder than you thought was ever possible, because you know it's enhanced by magic.
Right.
And you see there are multiple venues, and outside of many of them, there are butchers, men and women with the same uniform of burlap pants, black boots, and a white shirt with like a cleaver at their side. There's some dragonborn, some Goliaths, some dwarves, a lot of half orcs. They're all sort of burly types, and they're like the bouncers of these multiple warehouse concerts. You walk by one of them, and you see that like on the stage far back, there's these two dwarves, and they're both sort of like shouting out at each other, almost in like this boasting fashion, but like they're both so to like this rhythm and beat. And, like,
That sounds on brand.
The entire like audience is sort of just like almost like they're totally moshing and almost just like beating the crap out of each other.
And I nudged Carno and I'm like, those must be some very beastie boys, huh?
Yeah, but they're not gonna kill us.
I think we should go party.
Ziggy's like, oh yes, those are the jewel runners.
Oh, that's why you called them that.
That top shirts, Ryan. That top shirts.
Oh my god.
They name themselves after the dwarven companies, but they're quite good. And then as you're walking by, actually the biggest venue is that one that you noticed it had like a pyramid in the middle of the venue, and that's what the musicians are. And you see that there are three figures there. There is one man in a mask who's just like messing with these like orbs of light and sort of doing some sort of sorcery with them. There is one man with sort of spiky hair, and he's shirtless, and he's sort of doing the same thing the dwarves were, with like shouting to the beat. And then behind him is a woman with long white hair, and she's singing with like the highest pitched voice you've ever heard. And the people that are in there are like almost in like a trance, and they're like their dance moves are almost like praising, like they're worshiping this middle pillar. And
oh jeez, more cults. Okay.
Ziggy just like rolls his eyes and spits on the ground as he walks by them. And you notice that's the one venue that does not have butchers outside guarding the venue. And he's like,
who are they, Ziggy?
They call themselves the Answer.
And what does that mean?
I missed it.
I mean, I guess that's the question, right?
Who are they?
The Answer. Oh.
Illuminati confirmed.
They're being.
What was the joke? My computer froze.
What?
What was the joke? My computer froze.
Ah, okay. Oh, he said like the answer. Who are they? That's the question. They are my great. They are perhaps my greatest rivals at the Battle of Bands. They have a devoted following, but the butchers hate them because they're not funded. They're not signed with the butchers. They're signed with Madame Cadi of the Red Light.
And so they're kind of daft, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
You could say that. But then you, yes, like I said, you hear this man sort of like screaming and like rapping. We'll just say it's rapping. It's rapping. He's rapping. There's not a fantasy word for rapping. He's rapping. Okay.
Okay.
And the woman is singing, and it's just like, again, it's almost creepy and childlike. It's like, you know you love us. You know you love us.
Come on, ride the train.
Are people entertained by these noises?
Wait. Alex, is this the Antwoord? Did you put the Antwoord in our game?
Their name is the Answer, Ryan.
Their name is the Answer.
God damn it!
I think you'd love to get it. Yes.
I don't think
God
you heard
damn
it.
it! Right.
Yeah, they are. They're fantasy de Antwerp. Yes,
Why did you put D-board in our game?
because they're
Because of
villains. Anyway,
Lost.
so eventually you watch. They're a musical group. You can look them up. I'll post
They're
a
not good.
They're not
kind of
good.
good, but they're
Leanne, have you ever,
hit or miss.
Leanne, have
hit
you
or
ever
miss.
seen? Have you ever seen Chappie? They're the two idiots in Chappie.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
ruined Chappie. The reason Chappie's bad. Okay, so
Chappie?
moving on.
Let's go on.
You get to the butcher's headquarters, and you walk up, and they instantly sort of like freeze up, and they look puzzled, and Ziggy's just like, Giant's Bane, you know, you've been missing me. And they're just like, they just open the door, and he's like, oh, they're all with me. All of them. Even that one. And he like points to Turget and Ori and Flint. All of them. They're with me. I have many friends, thank you. And so you all walk with Ziggy to the back of the room. This is also the first time that Alexandros, Flint, and Ori, that you guys have been in the Butcher's headquarters. There's sort of these like long tables, sort of soaked with blood and covered with like hack marks. And not soaked with blood like they're currently bloody, but like there's like
crusty stains.
like stains, like those reddish, rusty brown stains. Like there's been literal butcher work done here. But a lot of the tables are covered with like papers and sort of like plans and little like chess pieces of like wolves and angry faces. They're sort of like scattered around like a map of the jungle. And so you walk to the back and you find Joanna, the Goliath woman with the is it a bear head? Yeah, it was a bear head.
Bear head.
And she's like, Ziggy, thank God, you're back. Hote's been looking for you. And he's like, yes, I'm quite aware. Go wake him up. We have a story for him.
Wait, we do?
Wait, story?
And he's like, we've rehearsed this. And he looks at Deborah, and she nods her head too.
Oh, you got it. Okay, cool.
Oh, you wanna throw us a script?
We'll just lie low. They don't
Just-
give a crap about us.
Just stand here and nod when ask you to. So there's some knocking and some murmurings, and then Alexandra, Flint, Ori, you hear thump, thump, thump,
Oh, great.
rumbling as like bursting through the door is just the biggest half orc either of you have seen. He is nearing 7 feet tall. Like his chest is like as wide as you are tall, Flint.
Ah!
And he's wearing,
Oh!
he's wearing nothing but like a long nightshirt and his like wrestling championship belt that like takes up the entirety of his abdomen.
You can't fight him, you can't fight him, you can't fight him, you can't fight him, you can't
Says-
fight him. You can't fight him.
Says
Don't.
Don't.
He's throwing me against
Sorry,
the wall.
change your words. You shouldn't fight him right now. You shouldn't fight him right now. You shouldn't
Fine.
fight him right now.
Fine.
Flint, he threw me against the wall.
I will
Don't
use a
touch
spell
that
to
again.
incapacitate you. Don't you dare.
Fine.
I will use
I'll be a roadie for the afternoon.
one roll away from you getting Tasha's hideous laughter. One roll.
Okay, so Hote, the half-orc leader of the butchers, sort of bends down, looks at all of you, and he's like, Ziggy, thank God. Where have you been all this time? I mean, where is sick? And Deborah actually walks up, and she's just like, do you know me, Hote, of the butchers? And he's like, no. And she says, I am Deborah the Cutty. I'm lieutenant of the Queen. He's like, oh. Well, pleasure to meet an ally. What can I do for you? And I'm not gonna talk to myself in 3 different voices, but the gist of the story is that Ziggy says he was going to go meet a friend, and he was attacked by several Yuan T, and it was probably because of the answer and their connections. And then Deborah says that this was happening in the other city since we're your allies, since we're butchers of we're allies of the butchers. We rescued him, and I kept him safe for this long. And then he told me to reach out to Merritt and Karnov as his other friends. And that's how this all happened. And you should feel really bad for being mad at Merritt and Karnov.
Yes, definitely.
I just nod like my head is broken.
That's sort of the gist of the conversation. And it's just like, we should take them right out of battle of the bands. They don't deserve to be a... Damn, do they make money. Well, we'll deal with that. Good to see your lives, Ziggy. And good to know that you guys are going to keep your heads.
Agreed.
It's like, here, sorry about the missus. Here, Joanna, get them two something else. I'm going back to bed. And he just, like, lumbers, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, thank God.
And, Joanna gives Merritt and Karnov each a potion of healing.
Ooh, thank you.
And she says, sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry, but I understand that.
We get it. It's understandable.
Yeah. Bye.
Later.
Later.
And so Ziggy says to you guys, well then, I believe our business for the night is concluded. I will see you when you want to rehearse.
Just say the word.
If you have other business before the gala, and he leans in knowingly with a smirk on his face. If you have other business before then, I understand. Carry on. Wonderful meeting you. And you, my friend, really. Buy some bows. The more I thought about it.
I think you may have convinced me.
Bowbeard. Bowbeard. That could be your new name.
No, we're not doing that, though.
We're not doing that.
You make your own brand.
I'm just saying, if we just kind of nod him off, make him look like actual, what do you call it? Like dynamite sticks. That'd be cool. Goes with my name.
That's not how.
No.
Fair enough. So Ziggy wishes you all good night, and he sort of motions for the butchers to escort you guys all out. And so as you're walking out with Deborah, she asks you, do you guys still stay at the Dragon's Dungeon?
Yeah, that's where we're
Yeah.
That's where
Different
we're at
room,
now.
though. Different room, though.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, hopefully the followers of Nakresh don't try finding us again there after what we did.
What did you do?
I feel like that's the tagline to this entire campaign.
What did you do?
What did you do, Flint?
We may have tried to save somebody from being killed, and we tried to interrogate one of the cultists, and then threw her out the window. And she may still be alive, even though we were pretty sure we killed her.
Karnov, you know she was dead.
She was dead.
Yeah.
But her body was taken.
Yeah.
Her body
Everything changed when that
miraculously
wheat to
disappeared.
Flint.
Probably got eaten by the Tiger Man.
So,
Just throwing it out there.
and she's like, alright, well, you know where to find me. If you need to contact me quickly, Ziggy has means of reaching to me. And I told him not to wear it out in the open anymore.
For the best.
Yeah,
Good idea.
It's a very, very, very good idea.
And before she leaves, she sort of turns and is like, wait, before I go, who is this one? And she points at Turgut.
He's my apprentice. He can be trusted.
He's some guy we found. I've never...
Let Ori speak.
We just abandoned him. We've saved him from the cult. him on as my apprentice to teach him a more honorable way.
He's from the cult.
Yeah.
Yes, but he doesn't dabble in that anymore.
Ooh.
He's been redeemed.
You
That
guys are all
doesn't-
way too fucking honest.
Objectively, that doesn't sound particularly great.
And
Well,
she
I'm gonna go get
looks
drunk. See ya.
at all
You
of
are all way too fucking honest. All of you.
And she draws a dagger. And she says, "How do you not know that he's playing you all for fools?"
Yeah, that's what I said back in the I said back in the mansion. Remember this? Remember what I said back in the mansion? I literally pointed at him multiple times. Remember? I was right. Am I right? Am I right?
I take my staff and I put it between her and the thrall target or whatever his name is.
Obvious
And I say-
whatever his name is.
And I say to her, "Look, it's me. So you know I'm going to tell you the truth. If he was going to kill us all, he would have already done it. I'm pretty sure not a single one of us actually knows his name."
How do you know
That's
he's
not
right.
his name?
He doesn't look strong enough on his own. How do you know he's not a spy?
Because he saw
That's
what
what
we
I'm
did
saying.
to the rest of his friends.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, that's not good. 5.
Yeah.
All right.
You all are way too honest.
Deborah,
If you had just left that whole "he's a former cult member" out, I wouldn't be doing this.
Deborah grabs Turget by the throat and puts her dagger like right up to it, like in an instant. She's really fast.
He is going to pee himself so hard.
Can I
He
use that
does.
centennial thing then?
does.
Centennial? Just push her away.
I like the instance you say that. Oh, he does.
It's canon. It's canon. Yeah.
He immediately does.
He's gonna piss himself. He does. It's like Ron Howard in Arrested Development. He does. What do you do? What do you do, Ori?
Like to just use the sentinel thing to push her away, to push her off of him.
Oh, you have to hit her for that.
Oh yeah, no, let's not do that.
Wait,
Okay.
if we can prove that he's telling the truth, can we not kill him? Like,
I'm pretty sure the whole "he just wet himself" thing probably has some sway.
yeah, but we have to
Oh,
like appease.
It's all over the place. Ugh.
If I
What
play
about
if I use Zone of Truth and just we ask him a bunch of questions just to appease the princess, do you think that'll be enough?
I hope so.
Yeah, that should do it.
You can
Because
try.
y'all are way too fucking honest.
So can we do
Even
that?
me,
so
the
that-
liar. Wow, thanks.
You told her he was a cult member. That was
So
a
you know
bad
what?
idea.
You know what? If we do Zone of Truth, because then he roll a bunch of rolls, and I think it lasts for like, I don't know.
It lasts for like
10
10
minutes?
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can ask Turget as many questions as we want, and then we'll know.
Yeah. All right. So you cast Zone of Truth. Everybody.
We're just
roll
doing this.
a-
We're just doing this on the street, out in the open.
No, isn't it like in where are
You're
we
in
right
like
now?
you're in like an alleyway between
Okay.
two of the warehouses. One of them is empty. One of them has a loud concert going on.
Honestly, a crowded area where someone isn't going to try anything is probably a good place to do it.
Fair. All right, what are we rolling for?
What we're rolling, yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So everybody except for Alexandros, because he's not. I mean, he's casting it. Actually, I don't know. I forget if the caster has to do Zone of Truth too, because it's a radius. It affects everybody. Zone of
Yeah.
Truth, magical that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius centered on a point of your choice. Yeah. So everybody needs to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay, what do I roll again?
It's a D20 plus your charisma save modifier.
Charisma.
That's like
Oh,
I don't have anything for charisma.
Oh yeah, I have 0 charisma too.
that's not
16.
good.
All right. So
4.
6.
Wait, is it
Turget
is it
also
the
rolls
plus
a
1 or the 12 below it?
It's +1.
Okay, so 4.
Okay, so everybody except. Well, actually, let me check for Magla here. Oh wow, she rolled an 18. Okay, so
For the
everybody.
love of all this,
Everybody except Magla and Karnov have to tell the truth for 15 minutes whenever they're asked a question. So,
Okay.
I mean, you know what's happening. You can avoid answering or answer vaguely. But it can't be a lie.
Uh-oh.
Within the next.
I'm in trouble.
Okay.
I'm
I look
I'm in trouble.
directly. Now that he has said it, now that he said it out loud, I look directly at Merritt and go, "What is your problem?"
Okay, so where do you want to start? So
Excellent use of Zodic Truth.
So
I realize that's not the plan, but he said it out loud, so we're
Okay,
doing
but
it.
I can't waste time.
While you're here,
I give you like my guy's entire backstory. I'll like PM it to you in a thing because it's long. So
Okay.
you now know my whole.
we'll just say as you're like continuing to ask anybody else, Merritt is just behind you guys blabbering his whole life story,
Okay.
and Ryan will just write that out for us.
I would love if that just ended up actually taking the whole 10 minutes of the spell, and then
No.
we don't get to actually ask Turget.
Well, I assume he'll keep talking. You realize he won't stop, and so then you'll just ignore him while he's still
Yeah.
talking.
So the first question I will ask to Tarjay is, are you still part of the cult?
No.
Have
See?
you lied to us at any point while you were working with us?
Ooh, that's good.
Yes.
Oh shit.
What have you been lying about?
Where the cult met.
Why would you lie to us about that?
I still have friends. I don't want them to die. They're wrong, but I don't want them to die.
Hmm.
Can we trust you?
I hope so.
It's kind of subjective.
So where is the cult really meeting?
It is different houses, but it's always Pleasant Hills. It's always in Pleasant Hills.
Have you been telling your friends anything about us?
I haven't spoken to my friends since you guys rescued me.
Would you try to kill any of us?
I don't think so.
What? Why is that not so
That's
cool?
not definite.
Would you try to hurt? Go on.
Not intentionally. I don't know if the cult has lingering effects on people. I was heavily drugged before the day you found me. I don't know if they could do stuff like that or with magic again. I don't think so, but I don't know.
It's worth pointing out that they were going to sacrifice him.
True.
Which,
Would you try to? Yeah. Go on.
I was just say, which would also have been a nice thing to mention to the royal one here.
Would you try to hurt the princess? Or
No. Would you not necessarily? I don't care if you trust. If we can trust you, can you seem to trust yourself in this cause? If you think that you are susceptible to anything under the following of Nakresh, whether intentional or not, do you think you can trust yourself?
He looks really worried. And he looks like he's about to speak several times, and yet, like, the words don't come out of his mouth. And you know, it's like the spell. He says, "No, but I want that to change."
Okay.
I trust the monk to keep him in line.
He will
If you
learn
make-
well.
if you made a promise now to never harm any of us and never harm the princess, would you honor that?
As well as I could. Yes. Yes.
Well, now that that's all cleared up, Flint,
Huh?
how did the fish man taste?
Honestly, not that great. There's too
I
many.
don't forget things.
You hit it with this fire, and there's just too many carcinogens going on there, and it just tasted like carbon.
What? Why did your character come to this island as like a hard-headed brawler, and you keep using big words like carcinogen?
Because I like cooking.
That's not in character. That's me asking that question.
Because he likes cooking.
I mean, isn't he a pirate? He's well traveled.
He's well traveled.
Yeah, he's well traveled. All right, I've used my work. I've done it. Yeah.
Okay. I think I just have a few more questions. For Target, is there anything about the... I'm just gonna say Lion King that you have not told us that you've been keeping from us?
I don't know if this was. Yes, I don't know if it was the drugs, but once when I was drugged, I thought I saw him there, visiting Sheila and the higher ups.
Well, what did he appear like? What did he look like
He was
in that moment?
tall. He wore a fine shirt and pants made of red silk, green boots, and a blue satin cape. And he was strong, and his face was hard, but it was round and almost enjoying being there and watching me there. And in his eyes, the thing that he looked most of all was hungry.
Honestly, if we go into this fight with working with the princess and going after the lion, going after Nakash, do you think we'll survive?
And he looks at all of you, and he just looks down, and he says, "No."
Huh.
Oh, now Captain Push Wizard downstairs over here should have an edge.
Now, on to the bigger questions. Out of the five of us, who do you like the least?
I feel like
That's a
we're
good
abusing
question.
the magic.
I mean, I don't want her to have the dagger on me anymore.
Oh yeah, can we stop that, please?
Deborah, let's go.
We good?
She eats her dagger. And she just says, "I'm leaving now."
Is that the truth?
And she just looks at you and shakes her head, and she just says, "If he so much as takes one toe out of line, we'll cut it off, and more. I did not make all these preparations to have one slip-up will ruin all of it. Speak to me when you have more things to tell me." And she walks off.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool, great. Seriously, stairs? That's your big secret here. Stairs.
The stairs isn't the big secret. It's that there's a reason why I don't like the pack. Because I think they murdered my family 40 years ago. And
I'm still focused on the stairs bit.
the stairs was an accident, my friend.
You were dancing around that for like days. Like the word wizard sends you into night sweats.
So you probably have about like 1 more minute of Zone of Truth if you want to get anything else out there. Otherwise, I feel like this is...
Yes. Somebody use this for a serious thing, I guess, that isn't me just interrogating plot points out of characters.
Alright, so are all of us not in a crash?
That's a good point.
That's a good question.
That's fair.
Target treads Miles really deeply. No, he doesn't.
Don't do that!
He doesn't.
Okay.
That would have been great.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
I am not the tiger person.
I hate cats.
That's fair.
Again, my thing's with the pack. I'm not him.
I've been calling him a lion for the last hour. I'm not.
Yeah, I think all of our certain quirks kind of rule us out.
Ori?
I'm not. I'm too honorable for that.
That's fair.
Target not said really approvingly of that. Alright, so you guys head on back down to the Dragon's Dungeon, I imagine.
The entire time I look embarrassed at Karnov, like I just slipped everything about my life, and I'm very, very scared that he knows way too much about me now.
Yeah, you will have to send us a write-up of multiple sentences that you've blabbed. In
He did.
Yeah.
He did?
Oh, he sent it to me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, it was all on Facebook. That's why. Okay.
Yeah, I sent it to Travis.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he thought Zuckerberg needed to see it too. It's a really powerful spell.
Oh,
Sir,
God.
we're just gonna run ads on it. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. As we're walking, I'm just patting Target in the back and just saying you did good.
And he looks down at his pants, which are wet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's just like one of my Japanese animes.
Do you say that in canon?
Well, no, because Flint's never played Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I look at everybody in the group, right? And I say, remember the people downstairs? The answer. They seem like they're being hypnotized by that group. Maybe we should go save them.
Do we have to?
Do we have to?
I want to rest.
Do we have to? Can we just accidentally? Oh wait, I'm not into the truth spell anymore.
They'll be
Oh,
there.
well,
We've had a long day of political
Look
discussions.
at my wrist. It's getting late.
We can't just leave them like that.
Listen to my stomach. It is dinner time.
We'll take that food and then go save them. But to just leave them there, that
You
just
do it
doesn't seem
later.
right.
They'll be there. I think.
As long as we go back eventually and
We'll
save them.
put it
Yeah.
on the list.
No, put it. It's on the list. Put a pin in that.
We'll see after we get home.
Put a pin
We've got
in the
a
mini-map.
heist coming up, but yeah, we'll come back and we'll save them.
She's
Okay.
like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's like, fine.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they perform here quite often, so it's not like this is the one time that you can bust them. So you can put a pin in this. But you do have a good point, Ori. They do seem to be in train. So
It's just another cult.
it's just another cult. It's all cults.
That's
So-
live.
There's a lot of different cults for one city.
That's
It's
live.
the biggest city. It's the biggest city in the world. What do you expect?
Well, don't
So-
you know, Greg? It's live.
Could you imagine if Flint talked like that all the time?
Oh, my next wizard
Oh.
is Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, and
Oh my
maybe,
God.
and maybe have vampire.
We'll find out.
What's the difference?
I cast magic missile.
Tell me why so Romanian
Oh my
vampire.
god.
Oh, there was a cult. There's a cultist that we interrogated so bad that I threw her through a window and she ended up on the bottom of the street. What's a funny story, Flint? What's a funny story, Flint?
Hi, Mark.
So what happens to 6 alive?
Anyway, so you get back to.
He has underwear. He has a line of underwear. That man.
So for you know how the disaster artist came out, my friend.
I missed entirely. Your friend what?
That,
Your friend what?
You gotta.
My friend has she bought the DVD because the disaster artist came out, and Tommy Wiseau signed like a framed photo of himself.
Of course he
that's
did.
genius. I shook his hand once. I met him. He was at one of the screenings of the room.
He does
a lot of handshakes. You kind of just forget about. I remember his because it's literally the driest hand ever felt. It felt. Have you ever not to completely derail this podcast and tell you what's up, but
I'm so sorry.
Have you ever pet a bearded dragon?
Yes. Like sandpaper.
That's Tommy Wiseau's hand.
Alex, are you sure you're not part of the zone of truth right now?
I swear to God, it's the only handshake I remember because it was only a second and it was weird. Anyway, you get to the end, and Jernan, the barkeeper, is just I'll take your 1 gold, please.
And I just give it to him.
You give him a gold, he's like, yep, new room's all set up for you.
Ah, you the man.
Thank you.
So, as you're walking over, as you pass your old room, you see a note to it that's been, nailed to the door. And it's written, it's in sort of scrawled handwriting on it. And, does anybody read it?
Sure.
Does it say slight breeze?
It says no. It's written in sort of an elegant but scrawled in angry type, and it says, "Enjoy the championship now, dwarf. You and your sorry band of miscreants won't last in this city much longer. Now that you have earned the ire of Team Fireball."
These guys.
Wait.
So now we've got to go on an adventure to go fix his problems.
Flint, who the hell is Team Fireball?
I'm trying to remember.
How's it?
I wasn't in your fight, Spud. I was dealing with Thingy there. What is Team Fireball?
I think they were some guys that I kicked the crap out of. They were one of 6 of them. So I mean, it's hard to remember.
Are they
but I won,
other party stuff?
They're just some guys.
They're just some guys.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the last thing we need is more enemies now.
Yeah, you guys just go around the place creating enemies.
Well, that's what happens when you gotta win the Fight Club.
Yeah, so I guess that's what we'll be doing next in our next adventure. Is dealing with Flint's mess.
That's every adventure.
No. This time it was us.
So you guys all turn in for bed, and you long rest, and this is when you officially level up to level 4. And as you, which we did off stream, it's all. There weren't a lot of rolls in this game. This was a full.
Very talky, very yelly. So
very talky, very yelly. Well, you need those between the. We were very fighty for 3 weeks.
Yes.
So
we were fighty, stabby. Now it's yelly, talky.
It was very character building, but we grew from it, and we know each other better.
Sure.
Exactly. So,
that's a good point. Hey, we have a viewer, the Haunted One, asking, why don't we choose other accommodation? And I think
because we're idiots.
And also, it's cheap.
It is cheap. It is 1 gold a night for all.
And we made friends with the bartender.
That's
to be fair, this is
reluctant friends, but friends.
He's kind of everywhere, but yeah.
He is kind of everywhere. One of these days, I'm gonna get very drunk figure out what the problem is with that.
It'll be a
Lizzie
whole it'll be a whole thing.
It'll be a whole side adventure. The merit.
We'll get to it.
So
Yeah,
as you all,
I think we've changed rooms at least once already.
Yeah.
Less
you all,
less money, more drama. Less money, more drama. Yeah,
less
definitely.
money, more drama. More drama is always.
Yeah.
So as you all wake up the next day, you all feel rejuvenated and inspired. Merritt, you having spent all this time with Ziggy, it almost feels like his charm has just rubbed off on you, and you feel inspired to see things from his way of life a little bit more, and you feel more charismatic. As Ori, as you wake up, you are haunted by the image of Deborah lunging at Turgid, your new ward, and you feel inspired to be more defensive and to protect those around you and to negate anyone who would leave your side. And you sort of right yourself and you focus your chi on that idea of locking down the battlefield to protect your allies. And that is how you become a sentinel.
Oh, it didn't happen. It didn't happen before. Okay.
No. Flint, as you wake up, you remember all of your past battles and how you've gotten to the championship. And while it's true that this would increase your strength, you thinking back on it, you've learned a lot. You've learned a lot of different tactics, and you've learned more about the city, and you now know more of the lore here, and you feel just more intelligent and ready to learn even further. Alexandris, you think back on this day and how you royally messed up your encounter with Felix Thorncutter. But right after that, you were saved by a woman who seemingly out of nowhere who rejuvenated you. And it seems you almost feel like as her words lingered with you, and that you're intertwined with something that can bend fate, and you're feeling lucky. And Karnov, you
Hello.
took a lot of hits in that last fight, and you set yourself to fleeing and dodging things that'll help you get out of danger, because you seem really set upon getting into it. And so you hone yourself down and you resolve to not be hit so easily again. And you find yourself more dexterous. But you look down at where the beast tore into you, and the flesh is going necrotic. Right above your ribs, a strip of your skin falls away as if it were a petal off of a dying flower. And that is where we'll end this episode of the Dungeon Folks.
There we go.
Cool.
So, thanks everybody who listened. I know it was a gap from this one, and it was very talky, but things will start blowing up again. We're almost to the heist, so I'm expecting next week will kind of be like everything up to the heist. We'll just sort of shotgun everything you guys want to do before the heist, and then bam, we'll get through it. And then we will see what happens after that. So tune in, and the story is only going to go more and more exciting places.
Before you leave, if you want someone else to go after this stream, Foldable Human is streaming right now. He's awesome. Slowby, the guy who invented the plays, is streaming right now. He's awesome. So go invade them, or your for list.
Whatever it is, a thing that Twitch people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Foldable Human's a good people. He's been going through some crap lately. I'll definitely give him a watch.
Nice. Nice.
Cool.
Cool.
Have
Thanks
a
for
good one,
watching,
everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.